Rap music is inherently prejudicial.
Is all this gang evidence relevant? Well, Your Honor, in a street gang act violation charge or a racketeering charge, evidence of the existence and the nature of the organization is not only relevant, it's required.
I'll conditionally admit those pending lyrics, depending upon or subject to a foundation that is properly laid by the state or the proponent that seeks to admit that evidence.
All right, so there you hear it. Judge Ural Glanville ultimately admitting rap lyrics, is allowing the use of rap lyrics as evidence of guilt in the course of this trial. Well, as I said to you, and we heard from Rachel Aragon, opening statements happen on Monday, day one of trial. Day two of trial was yesterday. More opening statements, this time from the defense. So that's something that the defense addressed head on. Let's go ahead and listen to opening statements from the defense as summarized by Rachel Aragon, my colleague.
By 2011, Jeffrey released his first album. It's entitled, I Came From Nothing.
Defense attorney Brian Steele starting his opening statements detailing Jeffrey Williams' troubled Atlanta upbringing well before he was internationally known as rapper Young Thug.
His family was displaced. They were scattered.
Steele telling the jury the name Thug does not mean criminal. He says it was an early promise Williams made to himself to always remember his Atlanta roots should he make it as an artist.
He would be truly humble under God. That's what Thug means.
On Monday, prosecutors argued Williams was anything but humble, alleging he and his co-defendants are members of the Young Slime Life gang.
They moved like a cat, with the defendant Jeffrey Williams as its head.
Defense attorneys argued YSL is not a gang, but simply the name of a record label. Steele says prosecutors have scoured Williams' lyrics to prove their case.
These are not confessions. These are not admissions. This is art.
Steele closing out his remarks saying Williams is not a mastermind behind organized street crime and treats everyone equally.
Whether he's with some giant president of a company, or he's with somebody from Cleveland Avenue who's been in and out of prison, a gang member who knows where he came from. He came from nothing.
Rachel Aragon, Atlanta News First.
And you hear that from the defense that, you know, really that Young Thug, Jeffrey Williams, was singing about life around him. That's the argument from the defense, or rapping about life around him. It's not a confession of a crime in any way. So that's something, of course, that we're going to hear a lot more about during the course of this trial. And Brian Steele, the lead defense attorney for Young Thug, also said that we would expect to hear, told the jury that they would expect to hear from an expert on rap lyrics during the course of this trial. But again, now where we are at this moment, day three, this is when the state has begun their case in chief. And what we've heard from the state so far is, well, we've heard from a gang expert. On the other side, the defense talking about a rap lyric expert. Here, the prosecution talking about a gang expert. So what we heard a lot about today, let me just call up our, if you go on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com, you can see this, was really just sort of, you know, the different kind of gang affiliations, and along with gang signs, colors that might be worn, when I say gang signs, hand signals as well. And this witness, this detective, testified and demonstrated some of the various signals that may be used by various gangs, was trying to explain the different affiliations and rivalries, for instance. So that's something that we expect to hear much more about when this trial does resume at 1:45, so just about 20 minutes from now. Let me just show you. I mean, we have our live cameras up inside the courtroom right now. It's just showing the seal, the courtroom seal, because again, it's a recess right now. It's just a lunch break. But when that does resume, we do expect to hear much more about gang activity. This is what would be described as background information about gangs in Atlanta, as we're very early. There's just the first few hours of testimony here in this case. But we do expect that prosecutors would call about 70 witnesses during the course of this trial, over the next 3 weeks or so, actually. And then the defense would call their witnesses. So we got a long way to go. We're just starting off here. But if you want to watch it, I mean, it's really interesting. Just, you know, right now, like I said, learning a lot about just the gang culture, which is really an important feature of this case and an important part of the discussion around this case, from that Detective Belknap. Court expected to resume just about 20 minutes from now, and that testimony will resume. So you can watch it actually on our secondary stream. Right, what you're watching right now is our primary stream, but we have a live event stream where you can watch that. And remember that our regular newscast starting at 3 p.m. will have just all of our general news coverage, including the commemoration events for the late Rosalind Carter. That is going to stream on our primary stream. Just when you go on the watch live tabs, let me see if I can show it to you on the website so you don't get confused here. You see, so when you're going on the website, you have that option where you can watch live. So what you're watching right now is highlighted in red. And if you see, we click over here, then you can go on our Young Thug YSL trial day 3 and you can watch that live. So whatever you so choose, but we do have it. Whatever you choose on Atlanta News First and Atlanta News First Plus. Oh, there I see myself. All right, let me pop up the stream there. That is the courtroom stream. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, and we just want to make sure that you know that you're covered with all the top stories and your forecasts on Atlanta News First and Atlanta News First Plus. Thank you so much for joining us.